Hi YouTubers, it's Evan again in today's video now. So I'm in the garage smoking nice big ass cigars and big ass cigar of life. I'm drinking some wine right now, so yes, I'm 25 and a half last time. I want to do a video right now on something very special. So I was at my tobacconist over the weekend, Wash City Cigar in Framingham, which is pretty cool. And that is pretty cool. So basically I want to talk about two cigars I tried, and these are cigars I've been waiting to try for a long time. They are a Padron 90th and Padron 90th Maduro, Natural Maduro. So I've been waiting to try these for a long time. According to my tobacconist, they've been out for, I think, about 6 months according to him, and they are definitely a good cigar, nice big ass cigar of life. So let me discuss them right now. So I had both of them in the smoking lounge in the back room, and they're pretty cool. So both of them are very high-end, very expensive, definitely a lot of money. So these are not cheap cigars by any means, because Padron is known for one thing: expensive, high quality. They are really the best cigars you can get legally in the United States, unless you're outside, you're in, like, you know, other countries like Canada or Europe, and you're talking about a Cuban cigar. Obviously, you're not going to get anything better than a Cuban. So, or what I'm trying to say is, you know, some people say Cuban cigars are better. How true that is, I'm not sure, because I've had a few Cubans here and there, but I really think Padron is the best cigar you can get legally in the United States. Unless you're outside, you're in Canada, Europe, you're in Asia, Australia, whatever, and you're talking about a Cuban cigar, maybe it might be better. I mean, people talk, you know, shit about Cubans all the time. How true that is, I'm not sure, because I've never tried enough Cubans, and they're still illegal. So, or they're legal, I'm not going to get into that. So the point is, back to the topic. So, I am a huge Padron fan. I have tried almost every Padron cigar, with the exception of a couple ones. I haven't tried the 46-year or 47-year Family Reserve, but I have tried a lot of Padrons. I've never tried the 50th anniversary, which is the $100 cigar, but the point I'm trying to make is I'm a huge Padron fan, so whenever a Padron cigar comes out, I'm definitely eager to try it. I've been waiting to try the 90th for a long time. So I walk into my tobacconist, long story short, and I walked to my tobacconist, and they have only a couple on the shelf. And I mean a couple. One thing about them is, I think back when the 50th came out, the Family Reserve 50 year, because there's two cigars back then. It was the Family Reserve 50 years Natural Maduro, and then there was the 50th anniversary, which you got in the $5,000+ humidor. So basically, long story short, those were limited, and they're still pretty scarce. The 50 years Natural Family Reserve are pretty easy to find. They're pretty easy to find nowadays, but back in 2014 and 2015, they were pretty scarce. So, same basic thing. So, long story short, so I walk into my tobacconist, and they only have, I think, of the 90th, they have, I think, 3 or 4 of the Natural, and maybe 2 or 3 of the Maduro. So I was very lucky to come when I did, because they were down to the last bits. And these are pretty damn expensive cigars. I mean, you're not talking like $60, $70, $80, $100, $200, but you're talking $30 a piece. So I had my tobacconists put them aside, and I smoked them. My impressions of them. I'm not actually doing a review. I'm going to do a review at some point when they become more available, probably in 6 months or so, when they're able. I can order them actually online. So I will review them at some point. I can almost promise you guys that. I can almost promise you guys that. And so, long story short, I try the Natural, and the first thing that shocked me in terms of the Padron Natural and Maduro 90th, this is the 90th anniversary, is the amount of nicotine. That's something that really surprised me, because Padrons are not very well known for the nicotine. I mean, they're not, you know, baby cigars, like sissy cigars, but they definitely have a decent amount of nicotine in general, but they're not overwhelming. It really surprised me, the just pure amount of nicotine, like knock your ass off, like the big ass cigar, the amount of flavor. So, in general, when you smoke a Padron Natural 90th. I smoked it a little bit too fast initially, and that was actually a mistake. I got a big, big, big buzz, and I felt kind of woozy and dizzy, so definitely have something to eat before, have something that's high in carbohydrates or sugars, obviously if you're not on a gluten-free diet like I am. It just surprised me, because in general, Padron cigars are not baby cigars like sissy cigars or pansy cigars. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with mild cigars, but they're not cigars that are known for having a ton of nicotine. It really surprised me just the amount of nicotine and flavor it had. So, initially, just purely incredible, the amount of nicotine. So that's the first thing that came to mind. The flavor of the natural was probably, I'd say, medium to full body, a lot of flavor. That typical 1926 flavor has that coffee, pepper, earth, espresso, that kind of stuff. Not bad at all. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of the Padrones in general. I love the 1926 series, nothing wrong with them. And I've tried most of them, and it's not a bad cigar, but, I mean, it's an excellent, excellent cigar. It just surprised me, the amount of nicotine. The Maduro, on the other hand, didn't have a whole lot of flavor to it. It actually surprised me, the actually lack of flavor. And my tobacconist, by the way, has extremely good humidor storage. I know a lot of people whine and bitch about their tobacconist humidor storage. My tobacconist, not saying it's perfect humidor storage, not as good as like home storage or whatever, or you get the point, but they have excellent, excellent humidor storage. You can pull something right off the shelf, and 9 times out of 10 it will smoke perfectly in the tobacconist smoking lounge, which a lot of people unfortunately are jealous about, so sorry. I'm just lucky. So, not to brag, but I'm just lucky to have a tobacconist. And also the liquor store in my town's like that. The liquor store in my town is very much like that. You can just pull something off right off the shelf and smoke it when you come home. Usually they have excellent humidor stores around me, so in this area where I live, I'm not going to say where I live, but you get the point. Perfect flavor. So, and the Maduro surprised me because it didn't have a whole lot of flavor. Reminded me more of like a Padron series cigar, which is a little bit disappointing for a $30 cigar. You expect a lot of complexity. Car going by. You expect a lot of complexity, but I was going to say, the Maduro didn't have a whole lot of flavor. Man, did have a big buzz. One thing you just totally blew my ass away, like the big ass cigar, is how much nicotine there was in the flavors, or the cigar in general. So none of the flavors. Why did I say that? In the cigar. I mean, if you're a lightweight, somebody who can't tolerate nicotine very well, I would not recommend it. Because in general, Padron cigars, while they may have a lot of flavor and it may be very full body, kind of like Latakia pipe tobacco is, very full body but low strength, this is the complete opposite. For me, and I've been smoking cigars and pipes going on 8 years, so I have built up a pretty high tolerance, and I'm a current everyday pipe and cigar smoker, not like a couple times a week. Like some people are still a lightweight because they haven't smoked on a regular basis. I have a pretty high nicotine tolerance, and this pretty much blew my ass away like the big ass cigar. So, pretty amazing. Both excellent cigars, nothing wrong with them. Are they worth $30 a piece, or depending where you're going to buy them? Here in Massachusetts, you're paying around that. Here in Massachusetts, you're paying around, I'd say, high 20s, low 30s for the cigar. Down in Pennsylvania and Florida, you're probably paying $24, $25 for them. A little bit cheaper buying by the box, but you get the point. Are they worth it? In my opinion, yeah. I think the Natural is really good, but definitely watch your strength buzz, because both of them have a lot of nicotine. So, anyway, Big Ass Cigar for Life, bye. Give me your thoughts, bye. So I finally tried the Padron 90th, so Big Ass Cigar for Life, bye.